Mama nikupe nini yote na mali yako. Mama nikupe nini yote na mali yako. Baba nikupe nini yote na mali yako. Baba nikupe nini yote na mali yako. Nikupe pesa, nikupe moyo yote na mali yako. Baba nikupe nini yote na mali yako. Hallelujah. My father was a polygamous man, so he had very many wives, and so he ended up having many children. When I was 6 months old, he was shot dead, and then by that time my mother had already gone, so she left me. So when my dad died, I had no one to take care of me. I came to realize that I was an orphan when I was in primary 2, and it was second term, so I really felt bad and I cried a lot. I almost stopped going to school because of that. When my father died, my grandfather took me up, but then he was too old, and so Cecilia said, like, give me this baby, I think I can take care of her.
That is enough. Now what do? Get the saucepans around, mix, it is easier.
Let me first give these small ones here. As they eat, I look for the saucepans, for the big ones.
I'm a mother, more than even her real mother. I used to tell her that I didn't want her to be a housewife, ordinary housewife. At least she should be someone, she should get education that will help her to be a lady who will be able to look after herself.
When I was in the village, I didn't like doing work. The rest of the kids in the village could not go to school. They would stay at home, play the whole day. Sometimes I would also dodge school, remain back at home and play.
Do you remember the time you people bundled your clothes and put in a basket? You remember? And you were trying to take off. Eh?
I remember that. Most of my sisters have not been educated. They dropped out of school due to certain circumstances, no money, sometimes pregnancies and so on. So they don't have the money to do what they want. The men just beat them up. So I really don't like that kind of life for myself. And I feel if I got the education, I can make it best with whatever I want to do in life.
Mama usually tells us that there is a reason for you to go to school, because I want you in future to be better people. You shouldn't go through the life that she has faced.
When you lose your husband, they don't grab actually the children. They grab the things, maybe the land, if the man had a plot, the house. It's just bad habits in the culture, because I think I'm entitled to something. I've always done so many petty things. I've always made curtains and sold. I work for many hours. But one thing I know is my sewing machine caters for all their requirements. for all their medical attention, for all their dressing, for all the food.
Looking after 4 of us is such a big challenge to her. The kind of work that she does not really make her be able to earn all the money that we would need for school. It's a burden. My dream is to be a neurosurgeon. Before my father actually passed away, I wanted to be a teacher. But then the illness that my dad got really put that pressure on my heart that in future I should be a doctor to save so many people who would have fallen victims of what? Circumstance and end up in death, just like my dad.
The children are still young, and I really still need to put more money on them for education. I've always instilled in them they should actually be better off than me, to avoid the cases of not having it.
Speaking, and lastly, all of you? Reading. Okay. So, as we shall be spelling the words that I will be pronouncing, a conflict. I come from a family of teachers, where both mom and dad are teachers, and they would tell us our purpose of taking you to school is to see to it that you lead a better life than just the one that we are leading. It's a good thing, actually. Think about it.
I've always thought about it.
Hoctavia came to live with me when she was 9. I knew she would have also jumped out of school at an early age, just as her other stepsisters did. It comes from our traditional culture, our Ugandan societies. Your father thinks you should be the last to go to school because you're a girl. So when they see themselves, they think they are not very, very important, and they will not realize much out of themselves.
It's like there's no one to inspire me, but when my aunt took me, I saw different life. People wake up in the morning, go to offices, smart and so on. So I said, I think this is what I should also be. But secondary education is expensive to us here. After primary, I didn't have any hope of joining secondary and so on. But my aunt helped me. She told me, work very hard. If you work very hard, get 8 aggregates, I'll take you to a secondary school and I'll take you to Igange session.
Calapatis, by your left, burdens march forward, move. Calapatis, salute the colors.
Sullivan Cabino, yenga twesimyeino.
Sullivan Cabino, yenga twesimyeino. Oraina ifoyo msoga chibumbe yetuwa. Orai chirabeche chikolo tweimbenga. Bisodente menkerenga ensenese.
Abantu mwena mubusoga.
Mwide twisanenga. Tukulembere isebantu. Nano mutwe gwaife. Tugonza kanenga. Enina ya Uganda. Etebenkere. Tulibanka bino yenga twesinyeino. Oraina ifoyo kusoga chibumbe yetuwa. Orechira beche chikolo tweimbenga. Usogete benkerenga esenese.
So there are various views on the origin of AIDS in Uganda. In the early ages, it spread from Congo, and most especially in the Katanga region to Uganda.
When you educate a girl, it's almost like educating a whole nation. It's like you enlighten the brain. We come to realize that we are actually not nothing, as people think that a girl child is nothing, but that's when you realize your ability. You come to know what you can really do.
Signature. Combination.
Up here.
Yeah.
My combination is healthy, that is history, economics, literature, and divinity. Those are the subjects I do. Charlotte Bronte's classic story of passionate and forbidden love has thrilled and horrified generations of readers. Looks to be interesting.
There will be no struggle. There will be no rebellion because we have already known that rebellion only breeds what? Rebellion. Was he right?
Yes.
Can you continue?
Meantime, we shall express our darker part.
I like literature. It's my favorite. Literature almost is like news, but a different way of bringing it up. If you read King Lear, it teaches about different characters we have in the society, their behavior. That's why I like it. It makes me think a lot. Helen struggled very hard to make me join this school. After that first term, she could not afford all the fees. I went back home and I wrote an application, and by good luck, I was picked on and I got the sponsor second term. I feel so good that there's someone to pay the fees, so it's up to me to utilize the opportunity and really work to my best.
There's been hardly no money coming in. It's expensive sending Ruth to school.
Baby.
Because the money, like if it's about 500,000, it could be something that I make in about 2.5 months. You really don't sleep. You find you're up early as 2 you're up, and you stay awake trying to see what should I really do.
I was basically worrying from morning to sunset. How will I surely get to go to school?
There is this saying one time I made up for myself. I said, for the sake of these children to be better than what I am now, I just must work.
Harambe, 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 harambe.
Just go and pick the long ruler and what? And the sugar and the blueband. Where are we going next?
Go pick the juice.
The juice. And that is how much? 5.8?
I wanted to go to Ndeje Senior Secondary School. Reason being, they perform well. The sciences are very good.
Hey, but that cupboard is bad. You sleep there.
Okay. If I didn't have the scholarship, I really don't know whether I would be in school. They want to sponsor you and uplift you, such that you can be somebody.
This is a co-educational secondary school, and it is ranking among the first 20 schools in the country. We have about 1,206 students, and about 800 boys and about 400 girls.
That point, midway, the ball. That distance from the point of suspension up to that point, midway, our mass of ball becomes the what?
People say when you do sciences, things are hard and all that. But I think when you put your heart into it, surely things can shift.
all there, I'd like us to open Google. Let's go to Google. Open Internet Explorer and we go to that search engine.
This school has been able to produce doctors. We have also been able to produce lawyers, we have produced teachers. And the good thing with this place is that a student who comes here and works hard automatically makes it.
Now we scientists have a lot to do. Yes, the scientists. So you must be time conscious all the time. So I really have to struggle. And every time I think of surely I have to be a neurosurgeon, you get actually sometimes tired because the day has been so hectic and long. But then in your brain there is something that tells you have to be this. So you increase the guts to read and all that.
About 50% finish secondary education. Because, you know, in the African context, the girls will go off and get married. We want to sensitize every parent, whether rural or urban, to get the value of educating a girl child. Not to have the girl child as an asset, an economic asset in the home, but to be treated equally like the counterpart of the boy child.
Do you really know your goal and target?
I'd like to become an accountant, a business manager.
Okay.
Mr. Mugabe is my mentor, and I really like him a lot because he's someone who is so caring. When I'm at school here, he calls me, guides me on what I'm supposed to do, on what is expected of me.
One thing, if you want to be a person who is successful, you must be disciplined. And then the other one is determination. Hoctavia is a person I came to know when she was just in S1.
Well,
it was a little bit
sometimes
a timid person with a lot of problems. But you know, as we have gone through the 4 years of secondary education, well, she's a person who can adjust very fast. A person who is ready to learn.
No. It's really nice to be very many in the dormitory. People come with different stories, different ideas from home, from class, from personal experience. So when you meet together, you have a lot to talk about. This one tells you about the other place, tells you about this, tells you about their culture, dances for you the way they dance. I feel happy dancing, and to me it is an exercise because it's vigorous. At the same time, I enjoy it. I show my flexibility, so it's almost about joy. I feel inside me is only happiness.
They need confidence building, self-esteem, and also, of course, good discipline. You must be able to identify which is right and which is wrong, and how do I go about the challenges in life.
Just leave me alone. I don't feel like giving you water. I don't feel like giving you water, please. I know.
One way is to intensify counseling and guidance programs. Another one is sharing with their peer groups.
You want my water?
You're very beautiful.
Okay. If you want my water, you see this book?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a book I've seen.
You have seen?
Yeah, I've seen.
So education first. Education first.
Okay.
Then a wedding ring.
A wedding ring? Eh?
Yeah.
A wedding ring.
I'll give you my water then.
A wedding ring?
Yes.
Okay.
I've seen people die, my own cousins dying of AIDS, my own uncles.
You've accepted.
The disease is really terrible, so I feel I need to participate in the sensitization of other girls. So it's like you're helping the nation, you're helping those who don't know.
Students like Hoctavia, I would call them very lucky, because perhaps if they had not been a good Samaritan behind them, all that brain would have been wasted. We are quite grateful for these organizations that come in and really lend a hand. So it has given them hope. It has given them hope.
If I was home in Palisa, right now, I think I would be having something like 3 or 4 children. I would be somewhere in the garden, maybe digging. I'd just be doing household work. So that's why at least I keep myself in school and focused.
When you educate a girl, you're bringing up better mothers in future. And also we can partly help in decision making of the country. It should not only be the men to do that decision making, but it should be for everybody.
We need to continuously tell them they have the potentials to make it. They're very brilliant children. So I think it's important for parents to send girls to school. A mother who is educated works in any place, whether in a peace mission to Sudan, they will stand together with the men, there will be lawyers, there will be magistrates. Because I don't think whether there is anything which is less when you put a girl and a boy together. I think they are the same.
Kale nkede kumachanga binsobedenze ekane mukibira wano mu makaka fe biziboza mirembe jinguze nkede kumachanga binsobedenze bigambo byakusomesa abana